Now you don't see them, now you do. Story number 3. I was an inspection specialist serving in the United States Air Force. This was way back in the early 80s. I had been assigned a sweet 30-day temporary duty to England. I had a large box of equipment that I brought over in order to support the daily maintenance of our aircraft. The way it worked is that I would work out of the local test lab at the base we were stationed at. I come into the lab and I'm met by some real cool airmen that help me get my box moved in and briefly give me the rundown on who's cool and who isn't. The shop chief is not on the cool list, and it becomes very apparent when he finally shows up to see who the visiting airman is. One of those people that think they're above you for whatever reason. Bottom line is that he was despised by his crew. I needed to borrow a pair of pliers in order to loosen up some bolts holding the equipment box lid on. So I got a pair from their toolbox and got to work unpacking. It was a Friday and I was eager to get done with it so I could sample the English culture firsthand. In my haste to get out the door, I failed to return the pliers to the toolkit, which is a huge no-no when you're in the Air Force and have access to a working flight line. All tools have to be accounted for at the end of each shift. This is to prevent a lost tool from either being left inside an airplane or left on the ground just waiting to be sucked into the intake of a jet engine. I get it and I'm good with the rule. Anyway, I had to come into the lab on Saturday, and I was told that the pliers were left out and are missing. Normal protocol demands that I report the missing tool to the dispatch office, and they'd shut down the flight line until either the tool was found elsewhere, or it was verified that it wasn't on the flight line. I decided to forego that part because I knew that the pliers never left the room we were in, and we were located well over a quarter mile from the flight line. We, as in the guys assigned weekend duty, spent hours scouring that entire lab for those pliers. We moved everything out of a couple of the rooms, checked in every box and container, and even looked in all the desks. Except one. It was the shop chief's desk and it was locked up. I made the comment that we should x-ray his desk just to make sure. We had the capability to perform mobile x-ray inspection. Came back that Sunday and looked through everything again and still didn't find them. Monday comes and the shop chief asks if we had any luck finding the pliers. We told him no, and explained everything we did. He told us to try one more time. So off we go to repeat the process for the third time. However, as I was moving stuff in the room where I originally thought I lost the pliers, I spot them on the floor behind the wheel of a cart that I had moved out of that room 2 times before. I quietly let the crew know that I found them, and told them that the shop chief must have been holding them. So I picked them up and put them in my pocket, and told the crew to not say a word. Here's where the compliance comes in. We went ahead and cleared everything out of the room, as in totally empty. I called the shop chief over and told him that the room was cleared and we didn't find the pliers. He walks over to the door of the room. I'm tracking where his eyes go, looks in at the exact spot where he put the pliers, and literally jumps a bit like he was startled. Then I really start laying it on thick. I tell him that the only place we haven't looked was in his locked desk, and how I was tempted to x-ray it, but now we have to call dispatch since the pliers have been missing for over 2 days. That the flight line must be shut down. Acting like I'm about to panic because we could damage an airplane and compromise the mission. I just let it rip, and the whole time I watched his face get redder and redder until finally he fesses up and admits to hiding the pliers. I laid into him a lecture about playing games, and how he started this game, and now he wants to whine when I played the same game with him. Now keep in mind that this jerk outranked me, but he realized I had him by the balls because if he went after me for some kind of insubordination, then he'd have to explain a tool gone missing for over 2 days without reporting it. So in the end I was a hero to the crew. And the shop chief left me alone for the remaining 27 days I was there. Ferengi rule of acquisition number 53, never trust anybody taller than you. The folks at our military stories would like this. I grew up with Navy airframes mech fathers. I heard them bitching to mom. And my stepdad would randomly bring us into the hangar. So I've heard how stressful it is. I'd also wander off through the hangar. As long as we didn't touch the radar under the A6E intruders we were fine.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.